Shadow football. I've wanted to make this video for a while, especially when United were having an absolute stormer of a 2024-25 season. But the reason why I've delayed it until now is actually because I was really busy with my work for the first half of the year, so I never got to it. So that's why I'm making it now. And with the fact that Manchester United, my Manchester United, are currently unbeaten and qualified into the Champions League group stages. Oh wait, they changed the format. What's this one called now? League phase? Is it called the league phase? Yeah. They qualified for the Champions League phase for the first time ever in their young history, so there's all the more reason for an extensive analysis for the best club in the world. Over the last couple of years, the question of whether Marc Skinner is the right man for United has come up time and time again, and I'm here to say that he is. He is the man for the job. He's a very good manager, and Manchester United fans need to start getting behind him because he's doing very well with the limited amount of resources he's been given. So, what is Marc Skinner up to at Manchester United, besides turning up at each game looking like a drunk dad about to object at his daughter's wedding? What's his philosophy with his team? What does he do on his cute little iPad? And most importantly, how does he achieve this philosophy with the team he's built? Let's start with the build-up. Most teams build up lopsided, where one fullback will tuck in with the centre halves to form a back three, and the other fullback will go higher up the pitch. The idea is to outnumber the opposition forward press because you don't need four defenders back to pass around one opposing striker. United did this last season as well, but this season, Skinner switched it up. The idea is still the same, to outnumber the opposition press, but United dropped both fullbacks and both central midfielders back for his 4-2-3-1 shape, essentially creating a back six. The idea is not only to outnumber the opposition press, but to overpower. Look how far back Zigiotti, Olme and Iniesta Miyazawa have dropped back to receive the ball. Combine this with Jade Riviere and Anna Sandberg just off screen over here, and United have dropped 6 players back within their own defensive third to play the ball out. This achieves two things. One is that it completely outnumbers the London City Lionesses players looking to press, which guarantees that no matter what happens, as long as the passes stick, United will keep a hold of the ball. Two is that this drags the opponent out from the back, freeing up more space to attack when they do play out from the back. Julia Zigiotti Olme finds Jess Park, who apparently was the in-house hairdresser for the Lionesses at the Euros this past summer.
You know when you get the front bit and you go,
yeah,
I can do that, but...
I don't think I want you to.
Right, well, I can.
Just straight.
She ships the ball onto Tooney, and Anna Sandberg has so much space on the left-hand side to drive up the pitch. She plays a neat 1-2 with Céline Bizet-Dunham, and sends a very accurate cross into the box for Mala to head in United's 4th goal of the game. This is exactly what Marc Skinner wants from his build-up, to make sure United guarantee possession through the thirds, making sure this part is done right, and then look to attack and do all the fun stuff we're used to seeing from United. Now, Manchester United's attack is all about 2 key aspects. 1 is freeing up the number 10s. 2 is feeding the number 9. Let's start with number 1. Skinner's teams are shown in a 4-2-3-1 shape usually, but they actually attack in more of a 4-3-3. Instead of having one dedicated 10, which is usually Ella Toon, and one out-and-out box-to-box midfielder, which has been Julia Zigiotti Olme this season, his system has Zigiotti Olme pushing further up, leaving Miyazawa behind as a single pivot. So this begs the question, how does United go about freeing the number 10s? The answer is quite simple. Ella Toon and Julia Zigiotti Olme are both players who are really good at identifying dangerous attacking positions, so it's their job to find the space themselves, rather than having the whole team create the space for them. They are also reliant on their teammates to give them the ball whenever they ask for it, and that's exactly what they're conditioned to do in this system. Toon's goal against Leicester is a good example of what they're trying to do. Janssen boots the ball long to Mallard, she uses her strength to hold up Sari Keys and immediately passes the ball to one of the number 10s, Zigiotti Olme, who is run into a dangerous attacking position. The idea of Skinner's attacking system is, whenever one of the 10s receives the ball in a good position facing forward, that's the trigger moment for everyone else to start making a move into the box. This is the moment where the 10 is freed, where they have the ball in a bit of space, and in this case, a lot of space, and facing forwards towards the goal. If we rewind this slightly, watch how Turlin springs to life as soon as Zigiotti Olme has the ball. She makes a move towards the near post, whilst Mallard is following up after passing the ball to JZO, and Toon is positioned well near the edge of the box. The ball goes back to Mallard, and it eventually finds its way to Ella Toon for her to score their first WSL goal of the season, and a wonderful way for her to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of her father's passing. This goal against London City Lionesses is an even better example. United recycle the ball from a free kick, and the captain of dreams Mea Letitia passes the ball to Miyazawa, and Jess Park is the one who slots into the 10 position for this phase. She makes a good movement to receive the first time pass from Miyazawa. Park is now in a dangerous space and facing forward with the ball, which means that the trigger for movement up front has been activated, and Mallard immediately makes a curved run in behind Kumagai and finishes the move off with a fantastic strike. She was offside, but this is exactly how Marc Skinner's attack is designed, freeing up the 10s, and thus you're able to feed the 9. One thing that's worth noting is that the number 9s in this system will almost always make a curved run in behind. What this means is that they'll start on one centre back and then make their way behind the other centre back, creating this curved run that's extremely reliant on good timing and team chemistry. The only reason I can think of for why Marc Skinner wants his 9s to run in behind this way is because this is the hardest run for a centre back to defend. When the 10 is freed, or whoever finds themselves in the 10 position, and they have the ball facing forward, they usually don't have a defender in front of them, so this means Mia Authen has to keep an eye out for Mallard in case she decides to go herself, and thus is unable to watch Turland at all. Joanna Tunila is marking Turland here, but notice how she's a yard from where she'd be offside, which makes the defender think she's going to run directly towards goal. But at the last second, Turland makes the curved run in behind Authen and Tunila is completely caught wrong-footed, and the best Norwegian striker in the world completes her perfect hat-trick with a composed finish. You might think, it's quite easy to disable United's attack by marking both of their 10s, but that's not necessarily the case, because United also have a lot of quality out wide, especially at fullback. Jade Riviere and Anna Sandberg are both expected to shoot forward and provide crosses into the box, and that's something they're both incredibly good at. And their aim is to, once again, say it with me, feed the 9. Elizabeth Turland is genuinely one of the most freakish finishers I've ever seen. I don't even know how to analyze her finishing because it's just look at this. How do you even do that? Having someone who's extremely good in the air is central to Marc Skinner's plan, because Riviere and Sandberg can just launch the ball in and there's really only one outcome if the ball gets to Turland. If the opposition aren't necessarily pressing high, then looking for the fullbacks out wide becomes pretty easy. Letitia finds Riviere without any pressure on either one of them. Now I want you to really focus on the 3 players in the box, Mallard, Bizet Durnham, and Toon. All of them are facing this way. All of them are in perfect positions, so all of them have a great view to watch Jade Riviere smash the ball into the back of the net because she doesn't need anyone else. But if Riviere feels like crossing the ball in, she has a pretty handy target to aim for as Turland is magnificent in the air, and she's positioned behind Borriel over here. The centre half has no idea where she is, and she's got a free header at goal and makes it 2-0 to United. But if the opponent are pressing aggressively, United will always form a passing triangle out wide in an attempt to free up a player to run into space. On the left-hand side, United have Fridolina Rolfö on the ball with Toon and Mallard to form the triangle. They're constantly passing and moving, probing the Liverpool defence, and eventually they find a bit of space for Ella Toon as she breaks free and starts driving towards the box. United do win a corner from this, and a minute later, they set up another passing triangle on the right-hand side, this time with Toon again, Jess Park, and Julia Zigiotti Olme. Nagano doesn't track Park's run as she plays across behind everyone in the box for our magician, Hinata Miyazawa, to score the 2025-26 WSL goal of the season. Let's discuss the player traits that Marc Skinner wants in each position. The number 9 needs to be the focal point of the attack, someone to aim for, and thus she shouldn't drift away from the box too much to link up with the team. Skinner wants his 9 to be in the box at all times, waiting for service. Elizabeth Turland is exactly that, someone who can finish from the most ridiculous angles, and someone who works hard defensively. Her defensive work cannot be understated, as she's the one that initiates the aggressive press from up front, looking to win the ball high up and making it tough for the opponent to play out from the back. The wingers are given lots of freedom to either stay out wide and launch crosses into the box, or they can drift inwards looking for space knowing the fullbacks will hold the width of the team. The number 10 needs to be able to identify dangerous attacking positions and act as both a playmaker and a second striker, The holding midfielder is someone who can dictate play, someone who can slow the tempo down and speed it up when a chance is spotted. Iniesta Miyazawa is perfect for that, as she's a fantastic ball player, good with both feet, and her vision is elite. The fullbacks need to be confident going forward, the centre halves need to have a good passing range, and the keeper just needs to know how to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. I know I've left out this position, and that's because I want to talk extensively about Giulia Zigiotti Olme. As a United fan, I love her, she's so good. The 8 position in Skinner's system isn't really an 8. It's more of a 6 plus 8 plus 10. So 24? Her game awareness as a 24 is really good. Recognizing that Miyazawa has gone forward to aid the attack, she notices that there's no one back in the 6th position, so she drops back assuming the responsibility herself. If United look to be pretty comfortable playing out from the back, then she'll play as the second number 10 alongside Ella Toon as she takes up this position over here. Seeing that Toon has gone out wide to participate in a quarterly passing triangle, she positions herself as the second striker behind Turland, which both of them are queuing up, waiting for the trigger moment to make a run. The moment comes as Mallard cuts in and Turland makes a run across Gemma Evans, whilst Zigiotti Olme is totally free as she runs the other way, but unfortunately heads wide. Her identification of space is a strength of her game as well, able to play as a second number 10 as Skinner likes. When United have the ball in the opposition half, you can usually find her lurking in this kind of position, looking to exploit space in between the defense and midfield lines. In my opinion, Giulia Zigiotti Olme is Manchester United's most important player, playing in the most important role in the team, the 24. She's responsible for helping the defense play the ball out from the back, transitioning from defense to attack, and then acting as one of the chief playmakers looking for space to unlock the opposition defenses. It pains me to say this, as a massive fan of Grace Clinton, Giulia Zigiotti Olme has been an upgrade on Grace Clinton in this position. She's not as clinical in front of goal, but I think she's much cleaner in possession, has a higher defensive work rate, and is an overall more complete midfielder. Don't worry Grace, I still love you, but Zigiotti Olme has turned out to be even better than what I thought she was going to be. Manchester United have multiple ways of unlocking a defense, but the issue is, if you press their build-up, then you've pretty much successfully disabled their attack, which is exactly what Arsenal and Chelsea did. United don't have an Alessia Russo. Wait, sorry, let me rephrase that. United used to have Alessia Russo, but stupidly didn't renew her contract and let her leave on a free transfer to a rival club, which massively strengthened them, and now she's a Champions League winner. As a player to just give the ball to and have her hold the ball up. Skinner wants his number 9s to stay out of the build-up, so that their sole focus in the game is to score goals. United also used to have a player called Grace Clinton, who is exceptional at playing on the turn, and no one has identified this as one of her biggest strengths, receiving the ball with her back to goal and somehow always turning away from pressure, which launches an attack for her team. With United losing 2 players extremely capable of relieving pressure from the back, there is honestly no plan B for United's build-up, and Arsenal kept closing down United's backline the entire game, frustrating the game plan and managing to keep a clean sheet against them. However, in that game, United also kept a clean sheet against Arsenal, and I can't believe I woke up at 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday to watch a 0-0 draw. United's defense is incredibly organized, led by future England captain Maya Le Tissier, and to be honest, there isn't really a set way that United defend, they change it depending on who they play against. But what I will say is that every single United defender is an excellent one-on-one defender. Anna Sandberg has come on leaps and bounds as a footballer in general. We could all see the attacking energy and potential she could bring to the team last season when she played second fiddle to Gabby George. But this season, her defensive qualities have really shone brightly as she shut down Olivia Smith against Arsenal really well. Manchester United didn't press high against Arsenal, knowing that the Gunners will absolutely destroy them if space is left in behind, so they kept it tight, organised, and largely in their own half. I will say, both teams looked like they played this game trying not to lose rather than trying to win, but United defended well nonetheless. Special praise has to be given to Zigiotti Olme and Miyazawa for their defensive work rate and discipline, whilst Maya Le Tissier proved why she's one of the best centre-halves in the league. However, against weaker teams, they will close everything and anything down, with Elizabeth Turland leading the press from up front. The big thing about pressing high as a team is, if you see that your striker is going to press high, then the whole team has to go too. It's all about commitment as a team, and this is something United do really well. United press as one, and this is another way for them to score goals, by winning the ball high up and proving that the classic phrase of, the best defense is a good offense, holds truth since United take matters into their own hands and win the ball themselves to score. The high press causes teams to panic in possession as Turland is gifted the ball by Ingrid Stenevik and scores United's equalising goal for Champions League qualification. After beating Brann 3-1 on aggregate, my Manchester United have finally qualified for the Champions League phase. That's a bit of a tongue twister. I think they need to come up with a better name for this. However, the million-dollar question now is, do Manchester United have a squad deep enough to compete in 4 competitions? The answer is maybe, kinda yeah, but also kinda not really? Looking at the Manchester United depth chart here, they're looking rather light at centre half and at number 10. Ideally, you'd want 2 strong options for every position, and I can't say with confidence that United have that. Obviously, there are players that can play multiple positions, like Mallard can play up front, Jess Park can play number 10, Fridolina Rolfö can play left back, and Gabby George can play centre half, etc. But with the limited resources United have had over the last couple of seasons, this is a pretty good squad. And something Marc Skinner has gotten right over the last 2 seasons is his recruitment. He's made an effort to bring in young, exciting players that are ready for the first team currently, but still hold tons of potential to improve down the line. Let's take a look at the outfield players he's signed since the summer of 2024. Elizabeth Turland, Simia Wujo, Anna Sandberg, Celine Bizet-Dunham, Julia Zigiotti Olme, Dominique Janssen, Fridolina Rolfö, and Jessica Park. Rolfö and Janssen are both massively experienced players at the ages of 30 and 31 respectively, and they're both still capable of performing at the highest level. The other 6, with the exception of Zigiotti Olme, the oldest at 27, are all 24 and younger. Simia Wujo is the only player we haven't seen enough of, but she brings a level of physicality and defensive steel to the United midfield like no other. It's a shame she struggled with her fitness so far, but she's a player I really want to see get some regular minutes this season. The other 5 are all players that any United fan would trust to start every single game. And the really scary thing is, none of them are in their prime yet, with Zigiotti Olme pretty much entering her prime years this season. This makes you think, if they're this good already, how much better are they going to get in 2 to 3 seasons? And this is a really scary potential to think about. What Marc Skinner has focused on is to bring in young players that are already playing at a high level currently, and having them enter their prime years at United. His focus is to develop, nurture, and most importantly, believe in these young talented players because they truly are good enough. The signings he's made have been massive successes in my opinion. Add in players like Ella Toon, Iniesta Miyazawa, Melvin Mallard, Jade Riviere, and Maya Letizier, who's bloody 23. She's 23! What?! And you have the core squad of players at Manchester United yet to hit their peak. This level of potential is not only scary to think about, it's also exciting as a United fan. I don't expect us to fully challenge for the title this season, or the next season even. Progress happens at a natural rate, and the aim for United over the next couple of seasons should be to qualify for the Champions League by finishing in the top 3 consistently. As we say in my line of work, slow is steady and steady is fast. Yes, United probably have the quality to mount a challenge for the WSL title right now, but it's too soon. Mounting a challenge isn't good enough. I think they're 3 or 4 signings away from building a deep squad full of quality that's capable of not only just challenging for the title, but winning it. Marc Skinner has been pretty spot on with his player recruitment over the last 18 months, and in a few seasons when this core group of players hit their prime, then they'll be serious contenders for the title. I'm not saying all of this because I'm a Manchester United fan and I'm biased, but I do actually believe this. This group are building something special, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. You hear how the players talk about the team being a family, a special, tight-knit group. The squad chemistry and harmony have been nothing short of magic over the last 18 months or so. You can tell by watching how much they trust each other, how much they believe in each other, and how much they love playing football with each other. Marc Skinner has done really well to cultivate a good working environment for the players, and he's absolutely reaping the rewards right now. This Manchester United team are going places. They're going to reach new heights. And I'm going to call it right now, we're looking at the 2027-28 Women's Super League champions. This is a very exciting time to be a Manchester United fan. Of the women's team, not the men's, I just want to clear that up. A young squad full of promising talent and a manager that believes in them and is currently getting the best out of them. Marc Skinner has built a team not only suited to his playstyle to a T, but a group of players who are ambitious, confident, and brave. I cannot wait to see how far he can take this team, and it's our duty as the supporters to fully back Marc Skinner now. I love Manchester United. I've been supporting the club since I was 7 years old. To my fellow Manchester United fans, now that the women's team is on the up and on their way to the promised land of a WSL or Champions League title, all we need to do is cheer them on. Because this team deserves our unconditional love and support. We just need to keep their journey going in the right direction.